this video, I want to demonstrate some of the interesting use of TBNL on your Android device. Specifically, I want to look at the use of Clojure REPL to control your Android device. For this demo, I will use an Genymotion Android session here, but you can also use your real device as long as you have figurehead installed on it, and you can connect it through ADB shell. So let's get started. We'll first take a look at the help of figurehead to figure out which option we need to use. So we'll use ADB shell figurehead -h for help. What we need here is the REPL. So we'll take a look at the REPL. REPL is the short options actually -R, so we'll use that. So we'll use ADB shell figurehead -R. We'll use a TCP port 12321 first demo. So this port we actually run on your Android device. So to connect to it, we need to forward local port to it. So we use ADB forward TCP, let's say 12322 to 12321. Okay, we'll fire up email extensions to use CIDR to connect to it. So we're CIDR. We'll connect to port 12322. Okay, you see here we have a Clojure REPL. Don't be alarmed if you see Java 0 here, because it's actually a Dalvik virtual machines running here, so it's now the Oracle virtual machine, Java virtual machine. So we'll use some of Figurehead's API Android API wrappers to do our work. So we use it, Figurehead API. To get started, let's use content PM. Let's take a look at what we have here. So we have get OR packages and get package informations. So let's get started with get OR packages. Let's first look at what get OR packages gets us. Okay, there are a bunch of packages here, but it's now view readable. So instead of just look at their names, and we'll use pretty print to see them. To do that, let's do get OR packages, and we'll map it through package name here, and we're finding where pp printed. As you can see, these are the packages on this device. So if you're interested in how many packages are there, we can, instead of just do pp print, pprint, we can use count here. So we have 92 packages on this one. So let's take a look at one such package. Suppose we'll take a look at the settings. Alright, so we use get package information, and the package will be the Android, the settings. Okay, there are quite a bunch of them. Let's do a pp print here again. There are quite a number of them. And these are actually Clojure maps, so you can actually query them. So for example, if I want to take a look at which receivers I have here, what we do is here. Okay, and pp print it. Now we have all the receivers here, their names you can query and do arbitrary things with them. We can also use, instead of using strings here, we can use keywords. So let's convert it to keywords. So the result is the same. So you can even use like some non-tradition. still the same. Okay, so much for the package queries. So using this function, you can actually find out all the packages stored here and all the app components for each of those packages. So we're used to do something else here. So we're using another wrapper here. Let's say app activity manager. Alright, let's use this one. Again, let's take a look at which functions we have here. A bunch of them. So we're start by like say start activity. So let's get started by start a short message sender. Let's start activity. And we're stuck. As you can see here, we start up the messenger here. Let's start the browser. Okay, we have a browser here, and we can do something like force close it, force stop it. Now, we use package here. Okay, we force close and we start it again. Okay, start again. What we can do is that we can do some things here. We can inject some input events. So for that, we use yet another wrapper head API. As you can see, all of them are start with figurehead.api. And you can take a look at their documentation if you want to know or their available functions. So for this one, we'll use viewed. Okay. Okay, there are a bunch of things we can do. So let's say I want to click the return button or back button. So we can do that by inject a key event here, which will have key code back. Okay, as you can see, the back key is actually event is actually injected, so it goes back to the things before. And let's say I want to search, let's say TBNL Clojure GitHub. What we can do is that we can type something as text TBNL Clojure GitHub. Let's see what happens. Okay, great. We already injected this one. So let's make sure it's enter. Great. We searched something like this. As you can see, all these commands available here, not only by injecting key events or typing text, you can also emulate like user action like swipe, tab, or move, different things. So you can read the documentation on how to use them. To separate action, these commands are fashioned after this Android built-in commands, such as the input AM, PM. But the thing here is that there are actually Clojure programs where you can programmably control them instead of just using the crude command interface. So for example, what you can do is that if, say, I want to type, what we can do is that if we want to type hello 3 times, what we can do something like this, repeat 3. What we do is we'll text hello here. You see here we have 3 hello here. So instead of typing hello, 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 we can do some programmable control like this. So if you're interested in extending and knowing all the functions in there, actually I recommend you go to the GitHub GitHub repository here, and you can actually find documentation what I say, annotated source code for them. What we're looking for, we're looking for figurehead, and look at the API here. So for example, let's take a look at the input part. So this is actually annotated source codes to them. So for text, we actually take text keyword here, and for key event, we take a key code and meta state here, and similar for our things like tab for X and Y. So that's it. After knowing this, you can control your Android devices using Clojure REPL, and the only limitation is your imagination. Hope you're getting interested and get started. So give it a try and let me know if you have any feedback or improvement suggestions. Thanks. Bye.